Welcome to TV 35 Sports Talk, Winter Sports Basketball. Today we're going to be introducing you to the 2021-2022 boys and girls basketball teams. With me today is the voice of South River Sports, Fred Roselli. Fred?
Welcome everybody, TV 35. What we're going to try and do today, we're going to be speaking with Coach Galato. Coach Walsh is probably out doing some scouting for all we know. Along with that, we have a couple of the players, key players that are going to be here, Laz Rodriguez and Jeremy Grossman. We're talking to them and try to get a feel. Starting off with Coach. Coach, what's your thoughts about this year's squad coming in? I'm
really excited for this year. The past 2 years, we've been laying the foundation for these upcoming years. This is where we're going to start to see the final product of what we've been building for. So it's
got a good nucleus coming.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's going to be great to see that these boys playing at such a high level throughout the course of the year.
Nice part, when I was looking over stats, I saw going back 2 years, you were only 2-23.
Yeah.
Then you came in 9-6.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's starting to gel. You got a lot of the same players. Do you think you're going to have much for changes in the style of play this year as opposed to last year?
I wouldn't say in the style. There's definitely going to be some tweaks along the way now that the kids are in the system and they know, what the coaches want. So if anything, it's just going to be minor tweaks along the way and just improvements on how the flow of the game is going to be going.
The gentleman to my left, your right, Laz Rodriguez. If you don't know his name, you will know his name before this season's over. Laz, starting your junior year, coming in, you're approaching the magic mark, not just quite yet, but we got you down right now. 600 and some points, working you along the way. Does that affect the way you play? You're at 641 right now.
It doesn't really affect me. I'm just trying to do what's best for the team, trying to lead our team to our goals, trying to just accomplish whatever. What's first is my teammates, and I just want to see them succeed more than anything.
You as an individual, 2 times All-Blue Division first team. That's a nice compliment to you. Hopefully do at least that this year and take you from there. Do you prefer getting in there a little bit more under the basket, shooting from the outside, or just wherever they need you?
Wherever the team needs me. If my jump shot's off, I'd probably prefer going inside, maybe get fouled, shoot my free throws, get my jump shot going. But if I'm hot, I'm going to stick to whatever.
Down at the far end, the other end, we got Jeremy Grossman. Jeremy, you're not too shy on shooting ones from the outside. I think last year you were one of the top 3-point shooters here in the county. Where'd you pick that style up? Just over the years?
Yeah, I've been shooting threes my whole life. It's really what I do.
Now, rumor has it you have 2 brothers. Do they shoot the threes like you do?
I have 1 brother, 1 cousin.
Okay, cousin, I'm sorry.
Definitely don't shoot like me.
Well, that's good and bad.
One's a playmaker. He can shoot a little bit. And the other one's just a hustler. Driver. They don't shoot like me, though.
Your thoughts about coming into this year, junior year? Last year was, we'll call it an abbreviated year because of the pandemic. Thoughts about it?
It's been fast. I felt like I was a freshman yesterday. Excited for the season. A lot of new people, just excited.
Coach, you got a couple of new players. I think there's a transfer coming in. So you got 1 player in addition.
Yep.
Good size to him from what I understand.
Very good size. He's going to be a great compliment to these 2 gentlemen I have with me right now. It's good to get new blood into the system to kind of get the boys excited to pass on the knowledge for what we got going on here in this program to a new guy.
Transfer from the St. Thomas Aquinas?
Yes, sir.
What year is he coming in?
He's a junior, I believe.
So you got him for this year and next year.
Yep, that's the goal.
Any good ones coming up through the grapevine?
Yeah, we definitely have. Last year you talked about with the pandemic, it was tough for some of the players to come out. But now this year, got a nice little crew coming in. So it's definitely going to be looking bright for our future.
Coming into your junior season, I addressed this to the 2 players. Certain games you're looking forward to more than others? Wait, hang on. Go ahead. Which one?
Spotswood, of course.
Why?
Start rivals. I love the energy at those games.
It's other than last year, I mean, whenever it was you do the double headers, boys game, girls game, that place is rocking. That's a great way to play, especially if it's a home game. How about yourself, Laz?
Definitely Spotswood. We haven't had the regular energy we usually have since freshman year. I just remember just the loudness in the crowd that had my ears buzzing. Looking forward to maybe seeing something like that this year. They're as young as us, I heard, and South Plainfield will be another one.
Another one looking forward to?
Yes.
Any particular reason?
They graduated a couple seniors, and they're another young group like us. We played them a couple times during the summer, and it was 2 close games. We won one, they came out with one, so I'm looking forward to playing them again.
Coach, you got the Christmas tournament coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know which squads are in it? Where you're going to be playing?
I believe we're going to be at Perth Amboy.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what squads are going to be in that tournament, but no, that's definitely something that we look forward to.
Usually, big early season one it'd be a good boost if you come around here and click with it.
It's a good starting point for us for the boys. You know, it's good that we have those days to look forward to and plan that tournament. And it's always something that we look forward to playing.
Even with an abbreviated season last year, when I looked up the stats, I was pretty surprised. Number of points players put up on the board and what you had. Laz, 317. Jeremy, 155. Kobe, 144. And Darren was 97. So you had 4 right under that. And that's on an abbreviated season.
Exactly. Just goes to show you, we don't have just one scorer on the team. It comes down to who has the best available shot. And that's something that we've been preaching to these boys for the past 2 years. You might have a good shot, but your teammate right next to you might have a great shot. And that's the one that we're looking for every time.
How about on the defensive end? You can work a lot, pressure in man, you're going to do more zone, box one.
That is our emphasis with these boys this year is that, defense wins championship. There's a reason why that saying is well known. It's because it's true. And we are pushing those boys every single day in practice. That defensively is where the bread and butter is.
Where do you think you're stronger? Going man-to-man or doing a zone?
Me personally, I love man-to-man. It just shows you who the ball players are on the court. It really... You need a tough defender to stick in front of your man.
How about the conditioning? Most of the players coming in, I know a lot of your better players who play AAU ball, played at least 10 months a year, let's say, at the bare minimum. Most of the guys coming in shape, coming off of soccer or football, still in decent shape.
Yeah, I would say as a whole, we're in good shape, but you can always be in better shape, especially with our play style, getting up and down the court, where, that's a big emphasis with us right now is getting these boys in basketball shape.
It's only been a short while you've been practicing and all. Anything there that really surprises you on what you see?
Team chemistry, 100%.
Good to have.
To see these boys, third year playing together. Some of them have been playing together for 7 years. So it's good to see that the flow. It's just see them work well with each other, know who's going where on the court. It's just great to coach.
Jeremy, thoughts about playing maybe with a big man in here? One that, and I'm not taking anything away from the other players that you played with, the guy that's coming in from St. Thomas Aquinas. I understand he's got some size to him.
I've been playing with him for a while.
Okay.
It's actually my cousin.
Okay. You got cousins all over the place.
Yeah. Me and Laz been playing with him for like 5 years, 4 years. It's going to be nothing different from AAU, travel. It's going to be the same thing.
Definitely a good addition to the squad.
Definitely.
Thoughts about having a big man here? Especially now that you know him.
It leaves a lot of pressure off me. Like what Jeremy said, we've been playing for a while now. We have a great chemistry between each other. And yes, when I need a blow, he could come in for me, or when he needs a blow, I come in for him. But when we're on the floor together, it's pretty scary.
Coach, I know it's really early in the practice season and all. Thoughts about who you may start, these 4 starters and a couple of players as a 5-6 slot?
To be quite frank, it's really going to come down to the matchup. We have a good 8-9 boys that we can just plug and play.
That's great.
They know their spots on the court. They know what they need to do. It's really going to come down to the matchup. So, we can be seeing a whole bunch of lineups throughout the course of the season, depending on what we think fits best with our opponent.
As a general rule, last year with the pandemic, how much do you think that affected not only South River, but all of the squads that were playing? It was abbreviated season.
Yeah.
You had 9-10 games, which is nowhere near to your regular schedule.
It was tough. I mean, you heard the boys earlier talk about the environment. I mean, we have great fans here at South River, and to get that taken away from us really hurt us, and probably with every other school, because basketball, it's big around here. So the fact that with this year we're having more fans, we're going to be in the stands, it's just going to be a whole new environment that we're really excited to play a part of.
With the players you have, able to do defensively, offensively, big man, inside shooting, outside shooting, you got enough personnel to cover all the dots and I's?
There's really, with the squad that we have right now, there's very limitations on what we can do on the court. So that's something that we're excited to display this year.
I know the players were talking about, how they look forward to spots going up. How about from a coaching standpoint? We know the traditional, the next game's the most important game. Let's forget about that. We know that. Which games are you as a coach? Or what's games the coaching staff, we really want to see so-and-so. We want to know how good we are. We want to play against the best. What's the coaching staff?
It's going to sound typical, but it really is the next game, because we have been playing fall ball. We've been playing some different games throughout the year, and it's really the next game that we are looking forward to, because we get to sit down and we get to figure out who's the starter's going to be, and really get to see what we have.
Who's the toughest within your own conference that you got to deal with, squad-wise, team-wise?
I don't know about that. I mean, each of these teams, they bring something different, and it really comes down to who has it that day, because at any given point, anybody can beat anybody in our division.
Coach, with your depth that you have now, last year, the year before, the same problem we would see if you had played 3 good quarters and have that one. Do you think maybe now changing personnel during those quarters will keep you on a steadier level? Because you would score 20, 22, then you go down to 6.
Yep. Were you in the coaching room with us?
Every game we get there, we talk. I'll be the bad guy, because every game I say, I want to see the boys come out there. I want to see them put close to 15 points, a quarter up on the board. And if they don't, they may not be in this game.
Yeah.
You're going to get a couple of those squads where 60 is not enough.
Yeah.
But like Art said, you'll have 18, 16, 4.
Yep.
And then you're playing catch-up ball in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that we would be shooting ourselves in the foot. And I think the main issue was because of the turnovers. That's something that we're preaching to the boys. You've got to take care of the ball. That is you got to hold on to it. So I think turnovers is definitely something that we've been focusing on a lot, and that's going to help us with those quarters where we have 4 points or 6 points, because those are daggers in those leagues. If you aren't putting close to 15 a quarter, chances of you winning is going to be slim, very slim.
How about on the foul shooting end? Improvement?
Can you ever be as good as you want to be foul shooting?
Listen, it amazes me, because you can even look into pros. How many pros, they miss umpteen,
right.
Charles Barkley was infamous. Shaq, they all had to try this style, that style. There's no magic to it, but it's a free throw. And you sit there and you say,
they're free.
They're free.
Exactly, 100%.
And it's tough. Granted, it's pressure. If there's 30 seconds left, you're down by 1 and you're at the foul line. Different story.
Right.
I mean, during the course of the game, what do you think as a coach? What's getting into their head to help them or hurt them?
See, I'm a big fan of, shoot the free throws during practice when the body's tired. When we have just run some conditioning, when we have just put them through a mental strain,
Game
learning
situation.
new concepts, it's got to replicate the game situation as much as possible, and it's tough. And I bet you it's going to be a little bit tougher this year, because now you're going to have the opposing fans in the stands, whereas last year was just the 20-so people on the team and the other.
It was different.
It was different.
Easy way to say it was different.
So it's going to be tough. It's definitely going to be a situation we're going to be monitoring throughout this course of the year.
We wish you all nothing but good luck. Hopefully during the season we'll have another Coach's Corner interview with everybody, and hopefully at that point, at the end of the season, we can talk and celebrate however you've accomplished. Thank you very much. Happy to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Take
Good
care.
luck to you. Have a great game.
Mike,
You too.
Thank you, sir.
On behalf of us here, this is the boys, we'll call it Coach's Corner, preseason talk with some of the players and all for boys basketball. Stay tuned. In just a few minutes, we're going to be going with Coach and talk about some of the girls basketball squads. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's girls basketball 2021-2022. Going to turn it over to the voice of South River Sports, Fred Roselli.
Thank you, Art. Joining me today, right next to me, is Coach Feaster. And in the middle here, we have Tiffany Fisher. Before we get started, Tiffany, great season in soccer. Very happy you won as many as you did. Wish you would have won one or two more, but you did a great job. Congratulations. Coach, get ready for that season. I'm not going to talk too much about last season. I call it the abbreviated season everybody had to deal with. How much does that affect your squad?
I really think we used last year as, looking back 2 years when we made it to the Final Four of the county tournament, we knew we lost a significant portion of our roster. And last year we got a really, really nice influx of freshmen. And I think last year was really just a great opportunity to get them some experience at the varsity level. Started 0-4, finished 9-5. I thought they grew up pretty quick. I was happy with that abbreviated season for this season because this season, to me, the experience they got last year is going to allow us to do some things that I think will look a lot like 2 years ago.
Art and I go back a long way, and it's unfortunate for us to say we can remember when you were playing. Give you an idea how old we are. But, hard to believe I saw you're on your 11th season. Time flies when you're having fun, right?
Yeah. And
it also helps get rid of some of that. They drive you crazy. It disappears, right?
That stuff's been going away since I was in high school, unfortunately. But no, they've been the girls, the best thing that's ever happened to me as a coach was when I get to girls basketball because we've been had a lot of really great young ladies, and we've had some pretty good seasons. So
your record shows 172 and 87. About 67%. Not too bad to have there. I got to ask you because you're going to hear it all the time up through the first game. There's a magic number you're coming up to. We all know it. We wouldn't be here talking about it if it was a full season last year. You're a few points shy of the magic 1,000 mark. Do you have it on your mind? Do you think about it a lot? Let me just get it over. Well, does it put more pressure on you? What are your thoughts about that, being a 1,000-point scorer?
Okay, well, I'm not going to lie to you. Obviously, it's on my mind, but it's not the top thing. Like, the top thing isn't, I need to get this, first game I want to bet. No, when it happens, and I'm just looking forward to, all right, we got to win the game. I know he's told me a million stories about people who didn't want to get it away, so they, blew away a game so that they could get at a home game. No, I'm not like that. Wherever I get it, that's where I'm going to get it, and I'm going to be thankful.
Another member of your family joined that elite club a few years ago. Yeah. Off the top of my head, I don't know how many points she may have, but does she talk to you about it? Geez, forget about it. That's not important. You're going to get there just in conversation.
We've definitely talked about it. Since my freshman year of playing, we always had kind of the goal that we would be back-to-back on that banner, and we've just worked hard towards it since. And even I remember the day that she got hers, she said, "You're next." And that just stuck.
We sure hope you are, and we hope you work your way up there. How do you feel if we go back to your freshman year? There's this girl coming up. She's supposed to be pretty good. We think this, we think that. No one really knew for sure who you were. You're walking on the court this year. You got a bullseye on you. They all know, box one Tiffany, box one Tiffany. Got to double take, got to do that. What do you do? How do you handle that?
So, starting, like you said, freshman year, when I started to make a name for myself and start to get well known, was when I started to get really frustrated because it is annoying when I don't have as big of an opportunity to score. But as we even talked about in practice today, if two people are double teaming me, that means someone else is open. So while my opportunity window is closing, someone else's is opening. So, again, it comes back to what's best for the team as a whole. So, yeah, I might be stressed that, oh, my gosh, two girls are on me. I'm not going to throw up some wild shot. I'm going to see that someone else is open, pass it to them, and that's a shot. That's 2 points for our team.
Coach, when you're coming into a season like you are now, a lot of returning players, a lot of high expectations by yourself, by the young ladies, by the fans. Ram fans are tough. They're as bad as Giant fans. You're winning, we love you. You lose, we need other coaches. So good. What goes through your mind as the season's getting ready to start?
I'm really looking forward to getting back to a normal season where we're competing for a normal county tournament, a normal state tournament. I'm really excited for her senior year. I've just been around. I coach her in middle school baseball. I've been around it for a long time. I know how hard she worked. Her and the other girls we have. They work very, very hard at this. Basketball matters to these girls a lot. It's a top priority for them as, you know, student athletes here, and I'm really excited for them to get out on the court and really, you know, make it happen.
In looking over your schedule, and this is not a reflection on your squad, but you got some tough teams you're coming up and you're going to be playing.
Yeah.
Piscataway's in here, J.P. Stevens is in here, East Brunswick's in here, let alone your rivals of Middlesex, Metuchen, and Spotswood.
Yeah.
With the Christmas tournament, you think that may set the trend or can help you, can hurt you?
You want to play your best at the end of the year, but all those challenges in the beginning of the year, like, you know, I kind of have, after, like I said, doing this for 11 years now, I get a little wiggle room in who I get to pick up out of conference or out of division. So I have high expectations for our team, and it shows by the teams I went out and got for us to play. And Mr. Buffalino said, you know, you go get who you think you can compete with, and I think we can compete with anybody.
Your thoughts about the rest of the squad, some of the players, if you had a starting five or at least a starting four, who would we be looking for?
Yeah, Madison Battucci came in as a freshman point guard last year. She is a natural leader. She is incredibly careful with the basketball, is what you want out of your point guard. I think she averaged like just under 1 turnover a game as a freshman. So
had some solid numbers.
Yeah,
as a freshman.
about 10 points a game too.
Yep.
She is a competitor, and she is an absolute joy to coach. Really, I'm looking forward to her taking the next step. Natalia Veracruz, like I haven't known her forever. Natalia Veracruz, she's a sophomore also. She's got great size, really good defender. Looking for her to be a little more offensive this year, but I think we can get somewhere around 10 points a game from her as well. We have a lot of seniors coming. We have about 4 seniors that are all kind of in the mix for starting spots. Amanda Gill, who's come in games and hit a couple threes and really sparked us in the past. Maya Ragab, who's also done, you know, some really good things and worked on her game a lot in the offseason. Maya Harris, same thing, a lot of athletic potential there. Saren Brown, who's put a lot of time into improving her game. So all of them are really kind of fighting for another spot in that starting 5. We also have Laz Rodriguez, who you just interviewed with the boys, her sister, his sister. She's about 5'11", freshman, and she's got an incredible amount of potential. She's a very tough competitor, plays AAU. I think she's going to be a 12, 14-point a game girl right away as a freshman.
You want a fast-paced game this year? No, depends on who you're playing.
Well, we can do it. We can play fast. I also really want to put emphasis on taking care of the ball and working for great shots. Like she said, she's not going to throw up a shot if she's double-teamed. The 955 points that she has, they were for us. Like, she doesn't look at it that way, and I know when she's got the ball in her hand, she's going to make a good decision for us, the team. And if a team wants to play fast, we can do it. If they want to slow it down and try to play zone and we'll work for a good shot, we can do that too. But we are going to really try to use our athleticism this year and cause turnovers, create a little bit of havoc in the gym. We like that run trap style, and yeah, we'll get out and run. I think this will be one of the higher scoring teams that I've ever had as a coach in the 12 years or whatever.
Sometimes, similar to like we discussed when we had the boys out here, 3 phenomenal quarters, but the game's 4 quarters.
Yeah.
What do you have to do different?
Yeah.
Fourth quarters, and it may be the second quarter of the game. People say, "Oh, yeah, why do you?" The reality of it is, and you got to put 12 to 14 points up there. If you do, you're in the running. I'd say 9 out of 10 games. You're going to have that team that comes up with 70, 80 points up there on you. But that's when you got to excel and do the same thing. But what is it? I can't figure it out. I'm sure you can't, but you may have a better handle on it than me. What happens to 18, 16, 4, 18? And it's like, send a different team out there?
Balance. I think balance sometimes when you don't have balanced offensive personnel. In years past, we've had a couple girls who play great defense and struggle sometimes offensively. I think at any point in time this year, we're going to have 5 girls on the floor that are capable of scoring. So, yeah, we've talked about the 4-point quarter being just like a burial. But I don't think we're going to see many of those this year. I really think that we are very well balanced to the point where it's not her and her alone. It's a real team, 7-8 girl effort. Everybody can kind of put the ball in the hoop on a consistent basis, and I think that 4-point quarter is going to escape us a little bit this
Enough depth to handle that, control it. If players get into foul trouble, you have those players that can go in and help them out.
I like to think so, more so than I have in years past, and I have confidence in them. And again, you're talking about her and 4 other seniors, and then 3 returning starters from last year's team and underclassmen that that can all score and provide depth. And one person I didn't mention, Tatiana Pittman, she's a sophomore. She scores. She's got a really good mid-range jump shot, and she rebounds well. So like we have, I think I just mentioned 10 girls. Also, we have Ashley Pereira, who's didn't get much time as a freshman, but as a sophomore, she's one of the best athletes on the court. She's an incredible defender. She makes the ones she should. We really have about 10, 11 girls that we can go to at any time, and I'm very comfortable with all of them on the floor. I'd like to keep her on the floor as much as possible. I think every coach in the county would say the same thing.
No, I think they'd want her off the court.
Well, they want her off the court. Like, there's no seat for you here next to me, kid. You stay out there. But, I'm confident with whoever we put on the floor this year.
Tiff, thoughts about certain games at senior year? I want to play. I want to beat somebody. Who? Why?
I want to say number 1 has to be Middlesex, just because we've had some really tough losses to them in past years. Like even last year, the first game we played against them, it was a little bit rougher than it should have been, but when we played them home, we were in it. Like in my head, we were winning that game, and we were so close, and it just slipped away. So I'm coming back this year, and some of the girls like have the same feeling that we're winning against them. That's like number 1. I heard like the boys mentioned Spotswood. That's always a good game. There are rivals. The environment is just unmatchable.
Especially if you get the doubleheader, boys game, girls game, both home.
Yeah, it's just a great vibe to be around. And then always Metuchen's always a good game. It's always very competitive. And East Brunswick even, because everybody looks at East Brunswick and says, oh, they're a bigger school, but we're always competing with them, and we always win. So it's a good game to go into and come out of.
Coach,
Yes.
I'm no fan of the NJSIAA. What group are we this year?
We are Group 2. We are Group 2, and enrollment is climbing. So there will be, I don't think there's any out from that. We are going to be Group 2, and that's just the reality of, our town moving forward. It's growing 10, 15, 20 kids a year in enrollment.
Yeah, because I'm still trying to figure out how a 2 and 5 team in a crossover game play the 7 and 1 team.
Are you talking about football? Yeah, they got some funny formula in football.
Yeah.
In basketball, it's a little more straightforward. Then they update the PowerPoints pretty regularly as the weeks go on, but it's a little more straightforward in basketball. And we're not looking to play in any consolation game. We're looking to make a nice run into all the tournaments we enter. So consolation game isn't even on my mind.
Tiff, to you and Coach, during the season, do you look at the PowerPoints and all, or you really don't care, just sit me out on the floor? It's 5-on-5.
To me, it's more of just play the game, win the game, and honestly just have fun because it is still high school. But at the end of the day, you want to win and you want to play the best game that you can play.
Yeah, that's not for them to worry about. That's for me to worry about. I just like seeing South River at the top.
Do you worry about it early on in the season after the first 3-4 games?
Well, you know what the problem is in Group 2, Central Jersey Group 2 is probably one of the hardest state brackets it's probably one of the top 3 hardest brackets in the state of New Jersey with Manasquan and Rumson, and then all the teams that they beat up on all year are playing these great Division I loaded college-bound high school basketball teams. So you kind of do look, because if you not that you would ever not win, there's no like, oh, hey, we're going to throw this game so we end up with the 4 seed instead of the 2 and we don't have to play them. No, that's not the case, but it's nice to see, like, you get some wins over an Old Bridge or an East Brunswick or a Middlesex and you get 30, 40 PowerPoints. It's nice to see where you end up, and you always want to get as many home games as you possibly can. When a few years back when we were in Group 1, I thought that being the 1 seed was probably one of the only reasons we got to where we got. Like having that home crowd and the home crowd behind you, playing in a familiar gym, that matters. And I want as many home games as possible. Plus, Manasquan and Rumson, driving down there in March, it's cold, it's a long bus ride. I don't want to do that.
At least you're not outside like football.
No, I want them here.
Indoors.
Yeah, no, I want them here. And home crowd is good. And not for nothing, the more home games you get, the more their family and friends get to come see them play. Some people won't take the 40-minute ride. So, I want it here, if at all possible.
We shut off Tiffany's mic and hearing What goes through your mind? You coached her now going into your 4th season in basketball. What can you say about this young lady?
I love her so much. I've loved coaching her. Just watching her middle school baseball, like hit the ball further than most of the boys, and threw out on the mound and things like that. So it was cool to get to know her that way. And then in basketball, it's just I have so much appreciation for the effort and the drive. I feel a sense of like I feel bad for her because she had a shot at the school record points wise. I mean, she was going to finish no worse than 2nd. And that kind of got robbed in the pandemic, and that a kid like this doesn't deserve anything short of everything that she deserves. And yeah, like I said, you don't get many of her coming through here. And
you had the good fortune to coach her.
I 7 years now, so I had a lot of good fortune coaching her. I love her, and I'm really really happy that I have her.
And the fans have had the great opportunity to watch her play and mature as the seasons have gone on. We just shut off the coach's mic and his headset. What can you say about him, Tiff?
Same thing with appreciation, respect. Like you said, through basketball, baseball, he's always been there for me, not only as an athlete, but as a student and just as a person. Like, he's always looking out for me, checking up on me. Even, like, if I go to practice and I look a little bit off, he's like, did something happen? Are you okay? Like, do you want to talk about it? Having a bad day? Like, he cares about me more than just, oh, she's my player. Oh, I had him as a gym teacher. Oh, she's my student. Like, he cares about me, like, beneath the surface, and I think that's a really important quality for a coach.
I've always had the feeling at any level that someone coaches. Coach is not a parent. Coach is not a teacher. Coach is not a friend. But that coach has a special spot on that line of who fits where. And a great coach, I always say, a great coach is one that can be walking down the hall and the next player would go out of the way to say, hey, Coach Feaster, how you been? That's respect. And that's something that means a lot when you say it. Can you believe you're halfway through your senior year already, that 3.5 years have gone by that quick?
Definitely not. I mean, freshman year, it's crazy because it's kind of half and half. Like, I think about this all the time. When I look back freshman year basketball season, it seems like it's so long ago, but at the same time, it seems like it was yesterday. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I'm just glad that I've had the opportunity to play this long. And yes, like, with COVID, it got cut short, but there are some players that they get hurt this season and they miss out, and I just have to be grateful and take advantage of the opportunity to play.
Coach, I'm sure you know what I'm going to say. I think it's the reality of it. I don't think when high school's over is going to be the end of Tiffany Fisher's basketball career.
No,
I think we'll still have that opportunity to see you play at a whole new level. I know on behalf of TV 35 and all the fans in South River, we wish you nothing but good luck, good fortune. Any thoughts about where we may be headed to? Or right now you don't want to talk about it? I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I mean, I'm looking all over the place. I'm looking in Boston, Florida, Pennsylvania. So, I mean, I have a few colleges that are like top 5, but in terms of do I know where I want to go? No.
That's okay. You have time. Enjoy it while you can.
Yeah.
You'll have memories that you'll take back for the rest of your life. Something you'll never forget. On behalf of TV 35, Art and myself, we'd like to thank both Coach Feaster and Tiff. Thank you very much. We hope to do a lot more interviews during the season. You know my saying, you win a game, I love talking to you.
Yeah.
So we try to do a lot of discussions. And Tiff, you're a natural. God bless you, man.
Thank you.
You're always welcome to come over. If Coach is too aggravated, doesn't sneak you over there for a while. We hope you have the greatest senior year you ever asked for.
Thank you.
Look forward to enjoying watching you and wish you nothing but good luck. And a great holiday. On behalf of myself, my good friend Art Lendensky, special thanks to Coach Feaster and Tiffany Fisher. We'd like to thank them and the boys who we saw earlier. Keep your eye on TV 35. We'll start getting ready as the season begins. We're going to do a lot of the games, do some more of the coach talk, Coach's Corner and all. But on behalf of us all, happy, healthy holiday to everyone. Thank you and good night.